Hello everyone, welcome to my new channel, Learning with DC24, the best teacher in the world. I'm your host, DC24. Okay, that's enough of DC24. Let's get started with today's lesson. Okay, welcome back. So for today we have multiplying and dividing decimals. Now we have 6.7 times 4. So we already talked about this topic, but we talked about when it is times 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000, 10,000, 1 million. All we have to do is just count the zeros, and that will let us know where we can shift the decimal points, right? So 6.7 times 10 will give you 67. But what do you do when you're times a whole number that doesn't have a zero? Or when you times decimals, or when you divide whole number or decimals? Now, the first thing you want to do is just remove the decimal. So 6.7 will be 67 times 4. Now both numbers are whole numbers, so you just carry on with the multiplication normally. 4 times 7, 28, put the 8, carry the 2. 4 times 6, 24, plus 2, 26. Now you go back to your equation and you look at the decimal and you count. So here's our decimal. Now how many numbers are after the decimal? 1. Just one number. So you come over here and here's our number and you count 1. So our answer is 26.8. So the first step is that you remove the decimal and then you do your multiplication here normally, and then when you get the answer you count how many numbers are after your decimal, and that's where you put it in your answer. Moving on to the second one. How do you multiply a decimal with another decimal? You do the same thing. First thing, you remove the decimal. So 5.21 is going to be 521 times 3.8 will be 38. Now you just do your multiplication normally. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2, 16. Carry the 1. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 is 41. Then you do the second number. First you add the 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. You add them together. You have 8. 6 plus 3 is 9. 6 plus 1 is 7, 4 plus 5 is 9, and bring down the 1. Now you go back to your equation and you see where's your decimal and how many numbers are after the decimal. Now it's not only going to be in the first number. Remember, you have two numbers which are decimals. Okay, so you get to count here. 1, 2, and 3. So you have three numbers which are after the decimal. Okay, so you don't just count over here, you have to count for both decimals. Now you come over here and you count 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now your answer is 19.798. Okay? Moving on to number 3. You have division. How do you divide a decimal? Divided by a whole number. So the first thing you do is put it in place. You have 85.6 divided by 6. Now in division, you don't remove the decimal. So the decimal stays in place. All you gotta do is just do your division as usual, just normally. Now how many 6 can you put in 8? You can put 1. 1 times 6 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Then you bring down the 5. How many 6 can you put in 5? 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Equals 1. And then when you reach the decimal, you put it up here. Okay? And then you bring down the 6. How many 6s can you put in 16? Oh, I wrote 6. My apologies. It's actually supposed to be 85.8. Let me just erase that real quick. So it's 85.8. So you bring down the 8. How many 6s do you put in 18? Is 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus is 0. So our answer is 14.3. Okay? Let's do number 4 over here where we have some space. Now, when you're dividing a decimal with another decimal, it gets kind of tricky. So the first thing is you want to make the dividend, you want to make it a whole number. So how do you make 0.4 a whole number? You times by 10. So 0.4 becomes just 4. What if it was 0.04? What would you do? You would times by 100, so it can become 4, right? So it just depends on the decimal. Now, whatever you do over here is the same thing you will do over here. So if you took the decimal place once, you will also take the decimal place once. So 0.4 became 4. And then 3.94 became 39.4. Again, we're doing this so we can have a whole number. We want to divide by a whole number. We don't want to divide by a decimal. It's too complicated. So now that we have our whole number, 4 divided by 39.4. Okay? And then we carry on with the division. How many 4s can you put in 3? Is 0. 0 times 4. 0. The 3. Bring down the 9. How many 4s can you put in 39? 9 times 3. 9 times 4 is 36. Becomes 3. And then now that we have reached the decimal, we put it up here. And then we bring down the 4. How many 4s can you put in 34? It's 8. 8 times 4 equals 32. 34 minus 32 equals 2. Now, are we finished here? Is it 0? No, it's not. So what we have to do is complete our division by adding a 0 here. Now, how many 4s can you put in 20? it's 5. 5 times 4 is 20, and now we have our 0. So the answer will be 9.85. So the answer will be 9.85. So yeah, that is it. If you do not understand or if you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. If you do understand, thank you so much for watching, and please do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.